Welcome back to Cryptographics, and in this video, we are going to be talking about Torus.win and its staking mechanics. So if you want to learn the basics about how to operate this, how all the deposits and the staking all works in terms of usability, go and check out my previous video that is about both creating and staking and just operating Torus in general. But this video is going to be a little bit more of a deeper dive to give you more insight on how to use the staking mechanic and how the difficulty works over time to create a nice, fair system and support Torus as well. So when you come to this menu here, as we talked about in the previous video, we're going to see our Torus amount and our staking length. Now, again, you can choose between 1 and 88 days, and you can stake any amount that you like. You are going to pay a deposit fee like we spoke about in the last video, which I'm not going to get too deep into. But the thing that you have to understand about Torus is you have difficulty mechanics built into the staking. So when you're staking on day one, 1,000 Torus for 88 days costs 500 million Titan X. Okay, so right now that's $102 to stake a little over $5,800 worth of Torus. That was on day one. Currently, though, because of the difficulty measures, and if you watch the previous video, which I would recommend you do on the creation side, then you'll understand that there is a ratio that this whole system operates around with Titan X at 10 million to 1, meaning if you were to create with 10 million Titan X, you would create 1 Torus on day one, and that gets more difficult every day by 0.08% perpetually. And this same mechanic actually applies to staking as well and has a staking difficulty that's featured in the system. And so if we look at how this deposit works, this is how we're going to understand the difficulty measure with the staked Torus. So on day one, like we said, creating 1,000 Torus cost 10 billion Titan X. And that was in the previous video. We talked about that. On day one, staking 1,000 Torus cost 500 million Titan X. Now, this is because the way the system operates is whatever you want to stake, the system says, okay, based on the length you've selected, how much Titan X would it cost to create that amount of Torus? And then whatever that amount is in Titan X terms, then you're going to pay 5% in Titan X. Now, the dollar figure of that is up to whatever the price is doing. But if you're paying 10 billion to create a 1,000 Torus creation, then if you want to stake 1,000 Torus, you're going to pay 500 million, assuming that they're both over the same period, which would be 88 days in this case. So if you want to stake for less, now let me show you here. So right now, because the difficulty has gone up, we can see that currently staking 998.4 Torus because of the difficulty of us being on day 3 that you can see up at the top here. The costs have actually gone up for staking Torus. So this is really important to understand. Now, the biggest thing here is understanding the cost for staking when you stake for shorter periods of time. So right now it's 500 million Titan X to stake just shy of 1,000 Torus. If I go ahead and I delete this and I type in 44 days in length, you're going to see the deposit doubles. Now it's 1 billion Titan X to stake 998.4 Torus. This is because if you wanted to go ahead and create 998.4 Torus over 44 days, it's actually going to cost you 20 billion Titan X because of the difficulty in the system. And if we go even lower, let's go to 22. Now to stake 998.4 tokens over 22 days, it's going to cost you 2 billion Titan X to do a shorter stake. And this is by design to make this incentive structure more aligned with longer actions. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't going to be opportunities that might present themselves that those of you who have the capacity to take advantage of can't do it. They may be there, or they may be there. But I want you to understand that if you're going to do shorter stakes, you're going to pay more when staking the same amount. You could even stake, if we go to a 1-day stake, You could pay as much as currently for just shy of 1,000 Torus, almost $9,000, right? And so you can see it can get really out of hand. And unless the prices of Torus are just insanely high and Titan happens to be insanely low, or some really crazy circumstance, you're really overpaying for the value of what you're depositing. And then you have to come down here to the estimated earned Torus and see, okay, what's my ROI potential looking like? Is it possibly worth it? And if you're seeing with the given participation, which always should increase relative to when you enter the system, this should show you that, okay, I'm not going to earn anything on a one day. I'm going to get minus 60% because I'm paying $9,000 to stake $5,000. This doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to do this this action. So what you would do is you would come back here and you'd figure out, okay, how many days works for me? And you'd play with this to figure out, okay, what's the likelihood of me getting an ROI here? And then how much am I going to stake? How much am I going to pay for that? And you can look at what's worth it for you. But the shorter you stake, the more you pay for the same amount of staked Torus, just due to the way the system operates. Again, if it costs 100 billion to create 1,000 Torus over a matter of like 11 days, you're going to pay 5 billion of that instead of 100 billion to stake 1,000 Torus over 11 days. So now what we can look at is the similar aspects of staking to creation, which comes down to the estimated earned and the shares. So the one thing I want you to understand is when you stake Torus, you are going to get the Torus back. You are not going to get the Titan X or the ETH that you deposited into the system. That is now in the system. And in the next video, we'll talk about where that goes, which is the buy and burn, the buy and build, and also the fractal. Okay. So when we come back to the staking menu here, we can see that if we want to stake over 88 days with just shy again of 1,000 Torus, that the ROI is estimated to be 6,200. We are estimated to earn 63,000 tokens, and we are going to get 7.73 million shares. Remember what we said last video where we talked about the creation. The creation gives you shares based on how many Torus tokens you create. And if you notice, 998.4 tokens get 7.73 million shares when you create, and 998.4 Torus tokens when staked also get you 7.73 million shares. So what this shows you is that the system looks at the tokens that you're creating and staking, values them the same, but the actions themselves give different ROIs. Because if we look at the staking and the value of the Torus here, this 998.4 Torus is currently worth $5,800, and to create that amount of Torus is only 2,000. So as you can see, you have to look at your cost basis to understand which is the best move and what suits your strategy. So both of these, this almost $6,000 move and this $2,000 move, both are going to get the same amount of shares in the system. And these shares are what give you access to earning these Torus tokens from the Torus pool that we talked about in the last video about creation. And so again, these estimates here are not guaranteed. They will drop as new participants join. And this ROI is the ROI that you would get every day, bit by bit. And this ROI is not what you're going to see when you stake or create initially. How the ROI is going to work is that every day you're going to get 1/88th of what this ROI is expected to be. And that can drop every day if new participants come in as well. But every day you're going to get a portion of what this system estimated that you might get. And this is the most important piece to understand about this is what all of the 88 or 44, whatever days that you've selected might add up to. And most likely are going to be less than this. Most likely. It also could be more because there are other mechanics in the system that allow people to do some cool stuff and to get out of the system to increase rewards for everyone. And we'll talk about that in another video. But again, when you stake, you're earning shares, and these shares get you access to the Torus pool, which compete with other creators and stakers. And this gets you access to earn more Torus, okay? So once you've selected either Titan or ETH, and you have the amount of Torus in your wallet, as well as some Titan or ETH, and your length selected, you're going to stake your Torus. And then once you've staked your Torus, you're going to come down here, and you're going to see the active stakes, claimable stakes, and ended stakes tab. Your active stakes are going to be displayed here, very similar to the creation side. So you're going to see the length, the start date, end date, your progress meter. You're going to see your principal Torus that you're going to get back no matter what at the end, and the earned Torus, as well as your current ROI, shares, share ownership. And then you're going to have a claim button here, and you might be wondering why you have a claim button. That's because staking has an interesting feature that allows you to actually end your stake early at the 50% mark or anytime after the 50% mark if you choose. Now, if you end at exactly 50%, you will only get the principal amount of Torus that you've staked back. You will not get any of the earned Torus that you've had credited to you to date. That Torus will have 50% of it burned, and 50% will be sent back to the Torus pool to be redistributed to everybody else that's still in the pool once you've early claimed your stake. So now if you were to end your stake at, let's say, the 75% mark, that means you're going to get your principal back plus a portion of what you've earned up to that point, and so on, all the way up to 100%, where you can claim 100% of your earned tokens and 100% of what you've staked as well. And this is an important aspect to understand, not only for game theory, but just for knowing that if for whatever reason you need to take your tokens out, you only have to commit to 50% of the length, and you are able to do what you need to do. And the system rewards those who are still being patient, and it helps to deflate the supply, which is always a fantastic thing in making Torus specifically more rare. So aside from that, when your stake is finished, whether it's 44, 88, 1 day, whatever it is, it's going to end up in the claimable stakes if you do not emergency end it early. Now, once it's here, you have a 14-day window where you can claim without any penalty, and you can even batch claim as many stakes as you have in this table, all with this button, and bundle them up. Now, if for whatever reason you don't end your stake inside that 14-day window, you then fall into the penalty zone. And that is a 7-day window where every day of that 7 days, you're going to lose 14.28% of the earned tokens only. You can't ever lose what you've staked in the system, just like creation. What you have created or staked is yours, and it cannot be penalized. But you can lose your earned Torus specifically. So if that happens, again, same as the early end stake and same as the creation, 50% of the earned tokens that were taken in penalties are going to be burned forever, and 50% of the earned Torus that you had is going to be redistributed to creators and stakers that are still in the system to be paid out by the Torus pool the next day, the moment you claim. And if you don't claim for a while, those tokens are going to sit in there and wait to go back to the creators and stakers in the pool, as well as to be burnt until you claim. Now, once you've ended the stake, what you're going to see is your length, your progress, start date, all the basic stuff you need to know exactly what you did previously. And you're also going to see a share button over here. Now, because I don't have a stake, I'm going to show you with the create side how the share button works, which is fantastic. So if you have a creation, a stake, whether it's ended or active, you're going to have this share button here, and you can click this share button, which will allow you to take a screenshot, and then you can post this on social media to help spread the word of what Torus is doing, how you're doing with it, and help get other people excited who are definitely looking for a system quite like this. So again, just as a quick recap, staking has a deposit amount that you must pay in addition to what you are staking. If you stake for shorter periods of time with the same amount of Torus, you're going to pay more for that stake in either TitanX or ETH. And every single day that goes by, the same amount of Torus that you want to stake is going to cost you more to stake. And you're also going to earn less and less over time, but you will always have the same number of shares if you always stake the same number of tokens within the system. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys are wrapping your heads around this. I know, just like the creation video, there's some new mechanics here, and it is different. But again, just like the creation side of things, if we go to the stats, I'll remind you again that the Torus pool is where staking is earning from. And this is the central supply that is being distributed daily, starting at 100,000 tokens and reducing by 0.08% per day perpetually for a max total supply of about 125 million tokens. So on day one, there was 100,000. On day two, there was 99,920. On day three, there's going to be a payout of 99,840 tokens that are going to go out to creators and stakers. And this is not just a first 10-day protocol. This is going to go on perpetually where it reduces, so you can continue participating in the system with the aim of gathering as many Torus tokens from creating or staking as you can. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you're starting to wrap your head around the power of Torus now. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like. Make sure you're sharing this on social media, and go into the description for all the links if you want to follow Torus for updates, as well as myself, my personal account on X, for Torus updates, for videos, live streams, supply updates, all that. Go to the links in the description and click those links and follow us there. And also, make sure that you are in the Torus Telegram, because we do Telegram voice chats basically daily at this point, and I would like to pick that up to having at least one per day for the foreseeable future. The white paper is all in the description below. All the links you need are down there. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one, where we're going to talk about the buy and burn and how that works, as well as the buy and build. Peace.